Let's go. Hello and welcome to another Overpaid Over the Bar fancy football video. And this one, we are on the brink of the 25-26 football season. And I want to do a few preview videos, especially focusing on the football, because although fantasy football is important, let's have a look at the real life football with fans of a real life football team. And that team is Liverpool. So I'm joined today by Matt Cox,
Hello.
who, hello Matt, who we met last year for the first time. And it's my great delight to introduce to you Louis Shingleton, our youngest competitor in the Fantasy Football League, who's also a Liverpool fan. Hi, Louis, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm fine. How are you, Anthony?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Thank you. Okay, so you are a big football fan, right? I mean, you kind of. I was surprised when I visit your family because you always seem to know more about football than me, and not many people do. So, like, I mean, the current football, not like historically, obviously. Is that still the same? Because I haven't seen you for a few months. Are you still living and breathing football?
Yeah, yeah. I am really into football, and I know quite a lot about like recent like football and stuff like that. So,
Oh, good stuff. And you're a Liverpool fan. When did you decide to support Liverpool? How old were you? Do you know?
probably started supporting Liverpool when I was about maybe six.
Hmm. Okay, and why? 'Cause you lived in London at the
Uh,
time, right?
yeah, I lived in London, but um, I'm not very sure why. I think I just like one of the first football matches I I saw was like a Liverpool match,
Yeah.
and I thought like, well, why not support Liverpool, you know?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, they weren't the best team at that point, were they? They were kind of like just doing well. So it wasn't really glory hunting exactly to go for
And
Liverpool.
and
Yes.
and I've got to cut you off. I've got to cut you off there. Liverpool were always the best team, so you're wrong.
Okay. So well, yeah. Okay. Um, right. That's kind of floored me now. I don't know where to go. Right. So we're talking a bit about Liverpool's season, Louis, in a moment. Um,
Yeah.
and the summer signings they've made because there's some really interesting players come in. I mean, they've probably been the most interesting of all the Premier League clubs, which is why I chose to talk about them first, actually, because some other clubs haven't really finished their business, and Liverpool might not have finished their business either. Looking at a few things people are talking about, um, but anyway, I want to. Um, I don't think it's right to be talking about Liverpool without first paying tribute to the amazing Diogo Jota. Both Matt Cox and I live in Portugal, and of course, it was as big news in Portugal as it was in England, and probably bigger because Jota was a huge star for the Portuguese team as well as the Liverpool team, and it was really tragic to hear about that. And I just wanted to ask you, Matt, what how did Porto take this? Because he grew up in the city of Porto, which is where you live. So I just wanted to ask you something about that first of all.
Okay, yeah. Well, he grew up specifically in Gondomar, which is just like a suburb just outside of Porto, just along the river, just a little bit further inland. And that's it's a really small town, if you like. I've been there a few times to the sports centre to take the kids to do sports there, and it's just a really simple, humble little Portuguese town. And they had Jota and his brother were buried there, and it was yeah, just like 24-hour coverage on the news of the place where the crematorium where they were going to be buried, and just the stream of visitors who were coming, the will he or won't he around whether Cristiano would show up, and that was actually a talking point amongst like our friends up there, because I think some people were saying he should go as a sign of respect, and other people were saying there's no way he should go out of respect because it will just turn into a total circus,
Well,
a
it sounds like
Cristiano
the attention
circus,
was already on him anyway, which is a bit
Well,
disappointing, really.
it was a talking point because, I think it always becomes a talking point, right, around
Yeah.
Cristiano. But the
I
locally,
don't think until you've been inside Portuguese society, I mean, we're not completely inside it. You are more than I am, obviously, with your family. I don't think you can imagine how much of a an idol Cristiano Ronaldo is. I mean, it is
he can do no
incredible.
wrong, and if he shows up anywhere, there's going to be thousands of people pouring out. So it would have totally taken over. And I think like he was like I was giving him a bit of stick to some of my mates, saying, yeah, he's couldn't even be bothered to show up, and they was defending him, saying he knows what would happen, and so he's
Yeah.
done the right thing by staying away. So I think,
Mm,
but Cristiano aside, uh, it was. Yeah, I think, like everybody was in shock. No, it's horrible.
mm,
It's just really
mm,
horrible.
mm.
And
And he was a really great player. I mean, I remember you had him in your
yeah,
team a lot. You often had him
yeah,
in your team.
yeah, of
I think
course.
you loved him a lot when as a player. Like,
He was always one of my favourite players. I remember seeing him play for Porto, and my Liverpool supporting friends in the UK asked me when he first signed, what do you know about this guy? Because they just knew him from Wolves, right? But I
mm,
was like, yeah, he was brilliant. He was only in Porto for a short time, I think, but we all liked him there as well. Like going along to the Porto games with my father-in-law. Everybody loved him, like for his work rate as much as
yeah,
his skill.
yeah,
But
but
I always thought when
mm,
he was playing for Liverpool, like the best finisher that I've seen for Liverpool inside the box since Robbie Fowler. He was just amazing. If
mm,
the ball,
mm,
he was the one that you always wanted the ball to fall to anywhere in the box. And the goals he scored with his head as well. And he was
mm.
tiny.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
not tiny, but compared to a lot of the big centre backs who were around him, and
No,
he would get there because
I
he was just
mean,
brilliant.
with better fitness, and he always had bad luck with injury. But like
Yeah,
he would have he's a manager's dream. He'd have been selected every single game. I mean, it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
his reading of the game, like his positioning, running off the ball. I always love the thing about when how footballers think as much as they play. I mean, that really impresses me. Like when they can make the most of their talents, and for all his faults, Luis Suarez, another ex-Liverpool player, was one of my favorite ever players in that sense. That he always knew when to make the run, what time to go, how to weight
Mm.
the pass. Great pass with the ball. And Jota is very much,
Great dribbler, Luis Suarez, and
yeah,
so
yeah,
was
yeah,
Jota,
yeah,
right? The
yeah,
last goal that he scored against Everton, he just bamboozled players inside the box, put two of them down, and then wrong-footed Pickford, which
yeah,
isn't easy, you know.
yeah, 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 yeah. Anyway, and that I mean, this we're going to see Jota coming up in all the first games, and not just from the first game. Like the Newcastle fans have got some kind of tribute ready for him when they play Newcastle
Oh
because
yeah.
of yeah because of something the Liverpool fans, I don't remember the facts exactly, but something the Liverpool fans did for somebody on from their club that passed away. So I think it was a
Oh wow.
supporter, I'm not sure. So they've got a big tribute ready for him when they play Newcastle, which I think is in match day 2 or 3. So it's going
Yeah.
to keep coming up, and as it rightly would. And I thought it was, we shouldn't talk about Liverpool without honouring that because otherwise it seems a little cheap. Okay, so 25. I'm so excited. The Premier League season is nearly starting. I love my fantasy football. I don't support a Premier League football team. I just like the ones that play nice football. So I always like Liverpool. Um, let's go to Louis first of all. Louis, they've signed Frimpong, they've signed Kirkes, and they've signed Wirtz. I thought it was pronounced Wirtz in German, but it's actually pronounced Wirtz. What do you or Wirtz or something like that? So, Louis, which one of those three are you most
And
excited about?
are you not going to talk about the fourth one?
To be
Oh,
fair,
okay, yeah. Go, Louis.
Sorry, Louis, go ahead.
to be fair, I'm quite excited about Florian Wirtz. Like he plays as attacking mid, and
Yep.
he's had like a brilliant like few seasons at Leverkusen, scoring many goals, many assists. and just partnering up very well with Frimpong.
Yeah,
So that would be good for Liverpool, having like two players who have recently played together
right.
and have like good chemistry.
Right. Liverpool have a history of signing two players at the same time or close at the same time who played for the same club. They did it with Salah and Alisson, who came from. Where did,
Roma.
yeah, thank you. I was waiting for Louis because Louis always knows the transfer history of players. I was waiting for him to tell me. Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, Roma, and then they did it also with who were the other two? I've forgotten it now, but there's another two in the last 10 years who came. It could have been Firmino and somebody else. I've forgotten now. Anyway, so is Louis, do you think I don't know. Keep looking at the Liverpool attackers. So there's Gakpo. Obviously, Nunez won't be featuring. You've got Ekitike, who's been signed. And you've got Luis Diaz, who hasn't quite been sold, if he's going to be. Where does Wirtz start? Do you think he's going to be deeper, or do you think he's going to be like a number 10?
Well, I see him more as a number 10.
Mm.
By the way, I think Diaz has already signed for Bayern Munich.
Has he? Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I missed that. Okay.
Hmm. But yeah, Vert's like I don't think he could play as a striker. He's more a attacking midfielder,
Yeah.
sort of like Szoboszlai.
But Szoboszlai plays pretty deep. I mean, he doesn't he goes forward when they have I'm just thinking, I think he might be a bit more attacking than that. They also have players like Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, who played a lot of football last season. Is there
Yeah.
a small chance that Wirtz will be brought in gradually, or do you think he's going to start the first game?
Um, I mean, it's possible that he could be brought in gradually because maybe he has to adjust to the club a bit more, playing style, etc. But there's also, yeah, I'm not quite sure. He could also start in the first match.
Yeah, I have no idea if he's going to start or not. He's very popular in FPL, Fantasy Premier League. He's got it because of his price, which is very generous. It's at 8.5, I think. He's bought by a lot of players, and I have him at the moment in my lineup, and I'm just a little bit worried he's not going to start on that first day. Which I mean, Frimpong to me looks electric every time I see him play in the on for Leverkusen. He's like a winger, right? More than a fullback almost.
Yeah, he like comes forward quite a lot. I mean, there'll be times when he'll see him like overlap Salah and
Right.
stuff like that. But it's good. I mean, he defends very well, but it's good for him to overlap as he can get crosses and shots in, etc.
Yeah, I mean he's really attacking his what the heat map where you see where the players are on the pitch. He seems to be very high up the field. But then again, I'm going to ask you the question again. Does he start instead of Connor Bradley in the first game, or does Connor Bradley get the first game with Frimpong on the bench? Or can they both play with Salah? Not really, can they? Or not?
Um, I I'm not sure if they would both play because in that case, maybe Liverpool would have to change formation.
Yeah.
But I think that Frimpong should start, and yeah, it would be a better option
Hmm.
to create like a more attacking play and have a more offensive match.
Yeah, that's the way I see it too. Okay, I'm going to go to you now, Matt. I'm going to ask you about Kirkez. I can't remember his first name, and you're going to tell me the fourth player that I've forgotten that Liverpool have signed.
No, well, you
Ekitike.
mentioned Ekitike. Yeah, you
Oh,
mentioned him
okay.
just then. But yeah, like so, I think this season is going to be a bit like what it's been like for fantasy players with Manchester City over the last few years. So it's quite difficult to pick out like nailed on starters because they've got such depth now to the squad.
Mm.
So like I've seen scenarios that depends on what kind of opponent you're playing against. You could play Frimpong or you could play Conor Bradley on the right, or you could even play Gomez in there, and they
Mm.
play effectively as a back three,
Yeah.
and then you could push Kirkes right up high on the left, or if you wanted a bit more control, you could play Robertson still on the left. You've also still got Simicast there. So there's loads of options there.
Yeah.
I'm worried that there aren't many options at centre back, but then across the front line, you think they've already got. So Jota, sadly, has gone. Diaz has gone now as well. I don't think Nunez will necessarily go unless Isak does come, and then possibly. But I don't think they'd get rid of Nunez and on the hope of getting in Isak. I think he's going to stay. So you've got like effectively on the left, you could play Nunez or Gakpo or Ekitike on the left. I don't know if I'm saying his name right because I haven't
Mm.
learned it properly yet.
Mm.
You could also play those three could all at pinch play centre forward.
Mm.
You've really only got Salah on the right, but Frimpong in the extremis could play up there as well. You've also got Harvey Elliott who kind of plays back up to that.
All right.
Vert, I think, will play in the centre forward slot, but deeper, like Firmino used to. I think they're gonna. I think
Oh,
I think his slot is nailed on. I think he's going to be one of the front three, and he's just going to be dropping back.
but he's surely not going to play up top because Ekitike will start there, surely, no, or not?
Not necessarily. Ekitike could start on the front left. He could start as a left winger in place of Gakpo. I think he's got. Look, if we go deep in all four competitions that we can play in,
Yeah.
that's 60 plus games, right?
Yeah.
I think this year it's going to be a nightmare predicting what the starting 11 is. I
Okay.
think he's going to use them all.
Okay. Because last season, he did have choices in terms of certain players, but he did tend to stick to a steady team most of the time. I mean,
Salah and Van Dijk were nailed on, but
yeah.
he's got a lot more. And Jota was injured a lot, right? Nunez
Mm.
fell out of favour,
Mm.
um, so he was kind of rotating between Gakpo and Diaz, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Whether they played left
Yeah.
wing or
Yeah.
centre forward. But now Wirtz gives him loads of other options because, like you say, he could play him a bit more withdrawn, or he could play him in the front line and he's got the freedom to stay high or drop and make space for Salah and one of the others coming in from the left.
I actually think, I mean, obviously I'm not going rogue with this one, but I really think Curtis Jones is a great player.
Yeah,
Um,
love him.
and I can't see how he fits in now. I really can't see how he gets a game. I mean,
Well, but that's it.
Yeah.
There's so many great players in all of these squads. Like I was saying about the City squad in the last few years, like there's players there who didn't get on the pitch very often,
hmm,
right? It might be the same case. What
hmm.
were you going to say, Louis? Go on.
Uh, yeah, like it's going to be very difficult for Curtis Jones to play with McAllister,
Yeah,
Gravenberch,
yeah,
Szoboszlai,
yeah,
Hmm,
etc. So
hmm,
yeah.
hmm.
yeah,
I mean, he'll be a sub most of the time by the look of it, and I wonder if a player of his talent will, be happy with that.
Szoboszlai could be sub as well. He's
No,
one of my favourite
I
midfielders,
honestly,
but
I honestly think he's the one who's going to suffer the most.
yeah, but those
I think
two might
Gravenberch and
McAllister.
McAllister, they're much more nailed
That
than
yeah,
Szoboszlai.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But Szoboszlai and Jones are possibly competing for the same spot depending on the opponent, right?
Hmm.
You can't play all of them unless one of the centre backs gets injured. We don't sign another centre back, and Gravenberch has to play in the back line. Then maybe Szoboszlai and Jones get more of a run of
Right,
games.
right. I mean, there was talk of Mark Gay for a while. I don't know if that's still.
I'd love to see that,
Yeah, he's a
but
great player.
he's amazing.
Yeah.
But I don't know what there's sort of talk about it, but it's very lukewarm, isn't it? Nobody's sort of really getting very excited about that, as if I haven't heard of any offers being made or
Palace are one
you
of the
know.
best clubs. If you the support Palace defend
Mm.
their players and
Mm.
get the most out of transfer deals. They do
They
not.
sold Olise really well, didn't they, to
Yeah,
Bayern?
yeah,
They got loads for
and then
him.
they won the cup. They don't.
Yeah.
They're sitting on about four or five players that are worth a load of money,
Oh yeah.
right?
They could like Gehi, Mateta,
Wharton.
Eze, no, yeah, Adam Wharton. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Eze was they were talking about him to Arsenal though, weren't they? But I
But
don't think that's happening.
remember how many years they talked about Zaha leaving, and every
Yes,
season he started again for
yes,
them.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
because they just wouldn't let him go. They're like, no, it's 100 million. They're like, what? Well, the other clubs are like, what? It's not worth that. No, no, that's how much we need if he leaves.
yeah,
It's not whether he's worth that
yeah,
or not. We're not going to sell him unless we get that much money. It's like,
yeah,
our club will suffer too much if we let him go. I mean, they get the business dead right for me, Palace,
yeah. No, yeah, they do.
except when they're not looking at the rules of UEFA competitions. But anyway,
That
um,
was a shame.
I didn't think so. I thought they deserved everything they got. But anyway, uh, Louis, Arne Slot, second season. Now, the first season, he's basically taken Jurgen Klopp's team and done wonders with it, changed the style of play a bit, made it a bit tighter. Now he's bringing players, presumably of his choice. I mean, you don't always know these days, but the manager doesn't always choose. But it looks in English football, the manager usually chooses the players. Um, Is it going to be different this season? Do you think that he'll just continue where he left off? I mean, it's difficult to see them being as supreme this season with Manchester City coming back. Looks like they'll be stronger. And Arsenal, I think, will be better this season too. But do you think they can maintain it this season?
Well, I mean, I don't think that slot will change like the formation. I think they're going to maintain the same playing style.
Hmm.
And like if Liverpool players have consistency in matches and just like work hard, play well together, and if signings do well, then it's possible that we could be back-to-back winners.
Yep, it's possible. I just wonder if this new competition for places could disrupt the flow a little bit. I'm just wondering if that could happen. Everyone always expects this season to be like last season, whatever season it is, and when Manchester City were winning, that is what absolutely happened. Every season was like the last one. Um, but I always look and go, hang on a minute. Maybe there's a few different conditions here. Maybe, I mean, the form in the last 6 weeks of the season wasn't fantastic, was it? I mean, there was some results there that could have been
No, but
better.
they've done enough by that point. They've done enough. And I think you're right to sort of flag it. Like if you think about the last time we won the league, the following season was totally derailed when Pickford went through Van Dijk and did his
Yeah,
knee, and we didn't have sufficient backup, and we ended up playing with people like Henderson in the back four.
yeah.
And so it is a bit. I'm a bit worried that we've only got sort of Van Dijk, Konate, and Gomez on half a leg for at the moment as
Yeah.
senior centre back. So I really hope we get another one in. I think that's more important than chasing after Isaac. I think we need to get another um, good centre back in um, because yeah, it could be derailed. But if you look at City, like you said there, they built a massive squad. They built on success by getting in another amazing player in the summer after they'd won everything or after they won the league, and they managed to string what was it, four together in a row? Like that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, I'd steady on there a bit.
Period of Liverpool
It,
domination.
yeah, you brought him up. Isaac has is basically not playing for Newcastle, not going to training. And I can't see any other club apart from Liverpool that could afford him in Europe, at least, apart from the Saudi league. Um, so it does seem that he's most likely to go to Liverpool. Um, will he just fit in like that if he joins? Not too long on this because he hasn't joined, and I don't want to spend too long in hypotheticals. But do you think he will fit into the Liverpool team just like that?
What do you think, Louis?
Um, I mean, he's going to need to adjust to Liverpool's playing style, but like if he comes, like you said before, I think we'd have to sell Nunez.
Yeah, Yeah.
Yeah, because there's already a lot of competition for places across the front. If you think we normally only play with a front three, there's, and whether Wirtz fits in the front three or he takes a midfield place, there's already a lot of competition. So, I mean, I'm really happy with considering who we've lost and the way that we've lost Jota in particular. I'm really happy with the players that have come in so far. I don't think we need Isaac. I think it would be amazing if he was there. It's
Mm.
incredible to say you don't need a player like that. I don't think it's nailed on that he'll come because I think Eddie Howe will do everything he can to repair that relationship and keep him in the club. Right. And they don't need to sell. He's on a long contract. So,
Yeah, I think it's going to rumble on until the end of the window. I think that there seems to be Louis.
Yeah.
I thought you were trying to say something.
No, no, I
Okay.
wasn't.
No, I was wanted to say that if for me he's the best striker, better than Haaland. I think he's the best striker in the league and possibly in Europe. I don't watch all the European leagues because of his ability to basically score any kind of goal. And his technique is better than Haaland's, I think. His technique with his other foot, his weaker foot, is fantastic. He's incredibly quick, strong, and I think if Liverpool sign him, I'd be scared stiff if I was anybody facing Liverpool. On the other hand, as you said, Louis, the playing style at Liverpool is very different to Newcastle because a lot of their goals are scored on the counter attack. A lot of their goals are scored on transition, and Liverpool are likely to have a lot of possession. Last season they slowed the game down from Klopp's style. They very much tried to control the game much more than Klopp used to. Klopp didn't mind if Liverpool gave the ball away. He was like, "Yeah, it'll create space for us to come back again." Like if we give the the other team gets the ball, then when we get the ball back, we'll have more space to run into. So he was actually saying to the players, try something, take players on. Slot's a bit different. He's very much locked down a system where the midfield's controlling the game. And I'm not sure if Isak does fit into that as well as he fits into Newcastle, but I certainly think that it's a ridiculous amount of players they have. If they bring in Isak, it's a crazy amount of talent they've got in that squad. So I'm kind of hoping they don't sign him in a way. Not I know you probably probably because I don't like it when a lot of players are competing for places. I remember the old Chelsea teams when they used to have all these players and they had brilliant players on the bench that never got a game. I don't really like that in football so much. I prefer it when they're bringing the younger players in and they sit on the bench and they're really good. I mean, Curtis Jones, players like that, not not
right.
not
And
having
and this summer, you've mentioned younger players there. Have you seen some of the clips of Rio playing this summer?
Rio.
He's playing in that. Yeah, I can't pronounce his second name. Do you know it, Louis?
No, I can't really pronounce it either. But yeah, he's been scoring a few goals in pre-season. He looks like he's in good form.
Yeah, he looks really good. You've got Rio on the left and Ben Doak on the right, like two youngsters who, given, like say, if you don't keep going out and buying new players because they've already got some talent coming through, they could do with a game. Don't know how many games either of them will get or whether they'll be loaned out.
Okay. All right. That's enough Liverpool talk. I'm kind of getting a bit, sleepy now with all the Liverpool talk. Anyway, so let's go on to the fantasy league season. You've both joined the league already, which I'm really happy to see. Matt, I think you just joined today, so you probably haven't had a look at the players at all, really. But Louis, you already put your team down. Have you been looking at who to pick for your team this season?
Well, like I think I Nauri who just signed at City from Wolves. I think he's a good option.
Right, Nori. Yeah,
Um,
Mm.
he'll get some assists and goals in.
sure,
And
sure.
again, another City player, Ryan Cherky,
Mm.
looks quite convincing. he
Okay.
had a brilliant season at Lyon, and yeah, so
Okay. Cherky. Um, is there not a danger with Cherky that he doesn't start a lot of games though? I mean, is he do you think he's gonna start enough games to have him in your because you know when players don't start games, they end up with 1 point at the end of the game or something like that. So what do you think?
yeah. Um, well, I think he got some game time in the Club World Cup.
Right.
I think he played some matches as well. He started some matches, and yeah, he I think he played well. So,
Which Liverpool
um,
players would you pick?
which Liverpool players would I
Mm,
pick? I'm going for Wirtz.
me
Uh,
too.
then I think Frimpong,
Hmm.
definitely Frimpong, and um, then for a third player, maybe Ekitike
Okay.
or um, maybe Kirkes or Gravenberch. Gravenberch had a really good season, so
And
Okay.
yeah,
defensive interventions are going to be rewarded more this
Yeah, they've
season. So it
changed the.
makes like
Mhm.
players like Gravenberch and McAllister will score more points this season.
That's right. Yeah, and the one that everybody's going to have from the content creator people is Virgil van Dijk.
ah,
Um,
yeah,
because he normally has a good season, he normally finishes in the top 10 of defenders, but because of the rule changes, every time he makes 10 clearances, blocks, interceptions, or tackles,
Hmm.
he gets 2 points in the game.
Yeah,
So if he gets a clean sheet and he does 10 of those, he gets 8 points. He might get bonus points on top of that for a clean sheet. You might end up with 10 points for a clean sheet for Virgil van Dijk.
yeah.
So he is the only he's one of three players in my team who is completely locked. I'm not gonna go anywhere near any other player like apart from him. So I've only decided on three players who I think there's just no argument.
I'm
Um,
surprised. Can I just say, I'm surprised, Louis, that you didn't mention Salah there. You're not going to go for him this year.
yeah. I just realised. Yeah, I have him in the team. Yeah, uh,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think he's gonna have a good season. Yeah.
I think so too. I mean, we've got all these exciting new players, but in the end, last season I stuck with Virgil and Salah all the way through. They were my two nailed on Liverpool players, and then I like picked and chose between all of the rest, and it might be the same this season.
I'm not going Salah first week.
Really? We're against
Well,
Bournemouth, and he started
I
scoring.
mean, yeah, I'm not doing it because I think that's the logical choice. I'm doing it to make it interesting.
Okay,
Yeah.
triple captain Salah, Louis, and we'll get off to a flyer, mate. Yeah,
Yeah.
and we'll be regretting that decision.
No, I did this a few seasons ago and really regretted it. I started without him when he was totally on fire the previous season. And I got absolutely murdered in the mini league. But I'm going to do it again this season. I'm going to start without him. Um, because
Okay,
it gives me
brave.
yeah, well,
It's a fine line, isn't it, between brave and foolish?
yeah, yeah. I don't. I mean, it's just a game, Matt. That's what I tell myself. Despite the fact I devote ridiculous amounts of time to it. It's
Well, I wanted to say now that I've mentioned foolish, maybe foolish, but I think it was Louis that made us talk about this last year. We spoke about maybe we might set up a second league this year and try to be the biggest losers, like see who can get the most negative points per game.
sorry,
Wasn't
sorry.
that you, Louis, that was doing it?
Oh, okay. No, Adam Speaker's the one to talk to about that. 'Cause
Or
he
was it
actually did that
right?
last season. He
Yeah,
actually he
right.
actually was at the bot. He gave up
He
after a while.
was
It's
at the
too much hard
bottom
work.
doing.
It's honestly, it's more hard work than playing normally. You
It
have to.
looks like it looks like fun though. I like the look of that. I think I'm going to try to set up a second league and do
You
that.
wouldn't believe how many people are doing it and how difficult it is to do well in that. He wasn't
Right
even anywhere near the top, like, or the bottom,
at the
like 100
bottom.
or 2000 or whatever it
No,
is. No, no.
really?
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. It's
Okay.
really hard.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Louis, are you aware of all the new chip rules and the? I mean, we've just explained one about defensive interactions, defensive contributions. Have you
Um,
have you heard of any other ones?
No, not really.
Right. So, normally you get two wild cards in the season, one in the first and one in the second half of the
Yeah,
season. That's the same. You know how you get a free hit at some point?
yeah,
Now you get two. You get one before Christmas and one after. Um,
okay.
the same for the bench boost. You get one in the first half of the season, one in the second half of the season. When AFCON starts, they've put something in to help managers that hadn't planned for AFCON. So if you've got like four players playing in the AFCON, which starts in mid-December, I think, they're going
Yeah.
to give five extra free transfers for that game week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So after game week 15, isn't it? So basically you can plan to have a little mini free hit
I mean,
then.
well, it's a wild card. It's a mini wild card, isn't it?
Yeah.
You get three,
Yeah.
five new players. I mean, at
Yeah.
that stage of the season, you should be getting half your team pretty good. So it basically is
Mm.
a wild card. I mean, there's
Yeah.
three wild cards this season. I mean,
Yeah.
if you look at the free hit and the bench boost, look at the free hit. That's one week where you can choose. There's like 5 weeks in the first half of the season where you can basically choose your whole team.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting. A lot of the content creators don't like the AFCON rule because they think or we do all this planning and then everyone else gets all these free transfers when we've planned it all and we should have an advantage because we're planning. But actually, I think it will help the planners because you can plan for that as well. You can actually plan for that too.
Do you think all of these changes to the rules have been made to try to sort of spread out the scoring and the points a bit better? So there's not so many sort of super key players that you have to have, and there's more points across the board?
So basically, what happens in a normal season is that by, I'd say November, December, a lot of players drop out.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, a lot of people that join their mini league at work or whatever, they're just
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm way behind now. There's no point. Just drop
Mm.
out. I think they've trying to give people a reason to carry on, you know.
Right.
That's one idea. I'm not otherwise, I think they're just trying to spice it up a bit, trying to
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean it brought a lot of attention, when they did
Yeah.
it, you know.
Yeah. They
I don't
didn't
know, to be honest.
not we're not having the manager chip
No,
this year
that's
though.
gone. That's gone.
Yeah.
Assistant manager's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's all that about? I like that. I thought it was random, but I liked
So,
it.
so the hatred that chip got from engaged
Oh,
managers, oh God, you would not believe. Yeah,
what, really? I
yeah,
wasn't
from the
aware of any
top,
of that.
the people in the top 200K, or top 50K or whatever, but all the content creators, all those people, they hated it so much because it locks your chip for 3 weeks,
Oh yeah, okay.
and so you can't
So
play
you
another
couldn't
chip during those
do,
three
yeah,
weeks.
right.
So they're like, oh, because they have this, like they have to every week has to be, they got all. I mean, I liked it too. I was one of the few people who liked it as well. But
I thought it was fun.
yeah, no, that's gone. That's gone.
Yeah.
All right, we are nearly at the end. Louis, you're a really good football player. I haven't seen you play, but I really want to see you play. So tell us your position and sort of how's it going? I mean, don't tell us the names of your teams or anything, but tell us what the how's it going with because I think you've kind of moved up a bit from where you were a year or two ago.
Uh, well, yeah, a year or two ago, I was like at the school team,
Mm,
and so I've recently done some tryouts for a club,
right.
and like they went well, and I've gone to the A team, and
Mm.